Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam shalom. My name is Andhika Mahardianto from SMAN Negeri 81 Jakarta. And today I will be arguing against the notion that middle-class parents should provide the choice for children to deprioritize formal education in favor of digital content creation skills and the career in that field. The creation of a vast array of platforms and monetizable markets as a result of new technologies do give a massive opportunity for people to pursue creative passions as outlets for monetization. The promises that social media, the attention economy, and self-employment provide are very enticing, especially for parents who wish to see their children thrive in the modern era. However, though social media monetization platforms give the appearance of a liberating force against an increasingly ossified and frankly boring path from high education to a stable job and a family and 2 kids. However, it would still trap your children in a different form of hierarchy, one much less kind, even though the present one isn't very kind, the new one is far less generous and transparent. This house refutes the notion that parents should provide the choice to deprioritize formal education in favor of pursuing digital creative skills or careers. Now, such proposition might sound restrictive or even cruel, but being sucked into the social media landscape and attention economy is devastating not only to your child's mental health, but their overall economic well-being. These new avenues for content creation and becoming your own boss are very, very new and completely immature, and the notion of being a content creator means you have full control over your own destiny is frankly naive and very dangerous. It might not seem like there's management holding you down like a strict corporate hierarchy, but you have a different boss, external validation from your audience, and the random whims of an algorithm. Now, for the attention economy. The attention economy feeds off of external validation and the approval of wider society to your creations, which means if your child pursues work in that market, they will be exposed to the biases and frankly disgusting views global society has in certain aspects. If your content is personalized, you will be insulted and harassed based on any metric that is possible to marginalize you with, whether that be skin tone, body type, gender expression, or background. These biases can also come up implicitly. How many times have we seen white TikTok celebrities steal their dances from people of color to get famous? Let me guess, around 3 of them got to the top by stealing TikTok dances from marginalized creators. And it could manifest in way more explicit ways. Have you seen the controversy of Gamergate, where any and all women in the online video game space making their living there by making videos, editing stuff, and writing articles were chased off their platforms, sometimes with bomb threats aimed at their personal addresses, their houses, schools, and stuff like that. And many social media have a policy to shadow ban content creators who aren't explicitly people of color or some other marginalized group or not even 100% conventionally attractive. Your child will be conditioned by the algorithm to see themselves as uglier, as less desirable, and less worthy of praise unless they get the views, unless they get the dopamine from the income and the attention that they get. Do you want your child to internalize those notions? And so we go to the subject of the algorithm. Social media algorithms and most other machine learning programs operate with some sort of black box, which means it is literally impossible to decode whatever metrics the algorithm uses to produce certain results. Now, imagine this black box being in control of whether or not you're going to have food on the table. There are some tips and tricks to get around these problems, but like any small business, a large amount will fail, and in our increasingly unequal world, that could spell the death of your child. Now, you might respond with, my child should be able to choose whatever they want. It is a principle of parenting to make sure they can thrive their own way and prosper in the ways that they want to. And I will respond with, yes, you should listen to your child's desires, but parenting is always a two-way street of communication. You are the adult with far more life experience. You know how it is to work at a company that has benefits like healthcare or vacation days or the ability to negotiate with a boss that can give you a raise or a union that can look out for your interests. You should know that leaving your child's professional life in the hands of an unaccountable, opaque, greedy corporation that has nearly all the power in the employment relationship, they could just ban your video or cancel your channel for any reason they can make up, is incredibly negligent. In parenting, it should always be your role to view your child with wisdom from your life so they can apply it to the new circumstances that they face. The older generation was gifted with a semblance of labor negotiation and regulation. Our generation is left with an increasingly neoliberal economy where too much labor is dependent on gig work. It is very unfortunate that we're stuck with a lesser of two evils situation where you should either pick a completely boring and set for you life where you just pursue professional work through conventional means, or a completely chaotic market where you are forced to internalize horrible things about yourself in order to survive. However, it is your job as a parent to help your child find a compromise between the two. If you can manage, try to help your child pursue higher education to gain a stable job that has lots of free time that they can have content creation as a side job, not as the main source of income. I know it's hard to pass up this promise of the bootstraps influencer managing to rise from riches from content creation, but it is the only reality for the small, minuscule, lucky few. Like any other entrepreneur business, they either got there by stealing content from others, taking credit and taking value, or they were born into wealth and relative comfort. You as a middle-class person know that your condition right now is very tenuous. Income inequality is growing, and monopolies are starting to eat up everything, and labor negotiations are running down, and because of our increasingly globalized economy, about the elite have far more wealth than any of us. But you should still know that stable employment is the only way you can work through this, and way to organize with other people in stable employment in order to develop a better future for your children and for the rest of us of humanity. Thank you for listening. I hope my proposals as the House have sufficiently counteracted this dangerous notion of leaving everything up to digital economies and gig economies and some such. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and that will be the end of my presentation.